Without thinking about it, which Pokemon did you use the last time you did a playthrough in Sinnoh? Did your team look anything like this? Apparently, this is the most overused team in Pokemon Platinum. Every time I go through any game in Sinnoh, I usually end up with at least 3 of these Pokemon on my team. So to mix things up, I tried using the least popular Pokemon in the game, at least according to this Bulbapedia list of Pokemon with the fewest page visits. The run was pretty fun. It actually got me to appreciate Pokemon I would never use otherwise. Motham and Chatot were actually my MVPs. Anyways, this might not be truly accurate for which Pokemon are the least popular, but it seems about right. My criteria were the Pokemon had to be fully evolved or single stage. I didn't want to use first stage Pokemon, so if an unevolved Pokemon is at number 1025, I won't use it or its evolutions unless its final evolution is next on the list. I also wanted to limit to region exclusive Pokemon just cause. I'm doing this run with Pokemon White and there's only region exclusive Pokemon until you get the national dex, so there's nothing to worry about there. And to maybe make it a little more difficult, taking off my training wheels for the first time, I'm only playing in set mode, so no switching after defeating a Pokemon. So without further delay, let's get into it. We meet Professor Juniper. She questions what's in our pants. And we meet our 2 bestest buddies, Chirin and Bianca. The professor sneaks into our house and leaves us a little gift. Out of all of the starters, I like Snivy the most. Fortunately, there's too many people who like the starters in general, with the superior somehow being the least popular at 311. So I'm picking Snivy for now, but we're not going to keep him for long. Bianca immediately wants the battle. We take care of her Oshawott quick enough. And Chirin follows up and wants the battle. Snivy knocks out his Tepig. After making a mess of my room, I try to sneak out before my mom finds out. For some reason, Chirin and Bianca are just snitching to my mom before I can even get down the stairs, so that's not cool. For some reason, my mom just doesn't seem to care, and she gives me a smartwatch as a gift. I visit Bianca and awkwardly watch her have an argument with her dad.
Bye-bye.
We meet the professor again. Snivy's too popular, so that's what I name him. And the professor gives us our Pokédexes. Take my first steps on my journey with my friends, and the professor shows us how to catch a rat. The professor gives us some Pokeballs. We won't get the first member of our team until we get to Striaton, so until then, I try to avoid as many battles and encounters as possible. And that lasts all of 2 steps before I hit a wild encounter. So, great. My friends are concerned that Snivy will be lonely since I didn't catch any Pokemon. Little do they know, Snivy's going to the PC first chance I get. Professor shows us around the Pokemon Center, and I listen to some hippie LARPers talking about liberating Pokemon. The local junkie thinks he can talk to my Pokemon and challenges me to a battle. We beat up his Pokemon and take his money. Moving on, we head to Striaton City, when my mom calls me just to let me know she's right behind me. I unlock Flight and Fight or Flight. There's a couple of wild encounters I gotta deal with, and 1 trainer battle. Right before we get to Striaton City, Bianca wants to battle again because she didn't learn her lesson the first time. I, however, forgot this battle existed and I didn't heal Too Popular, who was on low health. Thankfully, Too Popular was a little overleveled and was able to take out Lillipup and Oshawott with only 3 health remaining. We finally made it to Striaton City, so now we can finally get the first member of our team. Once I deal with 2 more trainer battles. We talk to this nice lady who gives us the first member of our team, Panpour, the water monkey. Panpour evolves into Simipour, who is the 1019th least popular Pokemon. One of the goals of this playthrough is to give some love to some Pokemon that I wouldn't use otherwise. And part of that love is giving them a good nickname. So naturally, we're gonna nickname our Panpour
The Drink.
now that we have the first official member of our team. Too popular goes in the box. Turns out the gym leader is in the trainer school, so we have to head on over and tell him to get back to work. Instead, we find Sharon, who challenges us to a battle. The elemental monkey we get from the Dreamyard lady will always have a type advantage against Sharon's starter, so we only need a couple of water guns to take out Tepig, even after it eats an orange berry. Sharon's Purloin also only lasts 2 turns before being knocked out. I managed to convince Sharon to give me the rest of his orange berries, because clearly he's not using them, and we head back to the gym. The gym leader's back, and now we can finally challenge our first gym. Clyde, the gym guide, gives me some water, so he's pretty cool. I forget what the gym gimmick is for a sec before remembering I have to pick the type super effective against the type on the curtain. The first gym trainer only has a Lillipup that Drink's able to knock out with a few water guns. Gym trainer 2 has a Patrat, which again, a couple water guns all it takes. And she also has a Purloin that also only takes a few water guns to knock out. Drink levels up to level 13 and he learns Fury Swipes, which ends up being very useful in the next battle. We make it to the gym leader, who reveals he's actually one of 3 leaders. This gym's leader depends on the starter you pick at the beginning, so in this case we get Chili, the fire type, since we picked Snivy. Little does he know, the Drink will be able to handle anything that he throws at us. Chili's first Pokemon is a Lillipup, and for some reason I decided I didn't need to take Drink to the Pokemon Center even though he was hurt. And my strat is to start off with Leer to lower Lillipup's defense, and then take him out with a few Fury Swipes. Lillipup uses Work Up, and the first Fury Swipes only hits twice, because of course Lillipup does another Work Up, and I get even more worried. The second Fury Swipes misses, because of course it will. Lillipup hits us with a Bite that does a lot of damage, so really need to get this next Fury Swipes to knock him out. And thankfully Drink pulls through and knocks out Lillipup with a crit Fury Swipes. Chili brings out Panseer, and again he starts working up, and at this point I just start spamming Water Gun, hoping that Drink can knock out Panseer before he gets knocked out. Panseer uses Incinerate, which scared me a little bit, but thankfully Drink survives and knocks out Panseer with one more water gun. Chili hands us our first badge, the trio badge, and we get the TM for Work Up. So now we're headed to Nakreen City for our second gym badge. And if you'd like to join me on this journey, be sure to like and follow. For a question of the day, I'd like to hear who you think the next member of our team will be.